Good morning, friend. This is Jeff Arcos. Welcome again to the daily webinar. Today, we are night of the 1st, 2020. I remind you, this one is not meant to be a financial advice. This is only an education presentation. Please consider term and condition before you continue and when you're receiving this recording. As well, thank God for another into my life, and I pray His blessings to that in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, let's have a look on the news size. We got 10:30 trade balance with Australia. Uh, we had the Bank of England at 7:30. That's tonight, and tomorrow we have the Canadian. Tomorrow the non-farm payroll, and Canadian has some announcements as well. 5 a.m. Polo speaks now. I guess with the what happened with the price of oil would be a bit concerning. What could be there? So start with the group that we decide to try this week. You know, when you trade less, so we decided the yen was quite good to have a look, and we got at our group. New Zealand yen was one of the first one waiting for retracement before activate the EA, and that it is. The market did break, it came back, and it just bring a 50 pips stop loss, which is no great deal for the trade, but that's just happened. So now this one actually I can remove the EA. I'm just not interested now. Thursday, and this has happened. Maybe next week we'll move different. So we have one off now. And then the next one is the Australian yen. Beautiful setup. So everything it looks to quite nice. And there it is. So this one broke there, come back over here. Still waiting for maybe a fractal to form over here before that before anything can be happen. Today I'm gonna be talking about fractals as well. So the importance of the fractal, um, regardless that there, this when you see this, and I'm looking the first fractal up, the first fractal down, and compared to where is this one here? So for example, if I want to be looking that fractal, I want to be looking this fractal, I want to be looking that fractal over here, this fractal over there, those fractal over here, and so on. So one of the things that if I look in, the fractal, the signal fractal that I normally build my, I'm still forgetting the name of the guy. Bill Johnson? No, Bill Johnson. Just invented. Um, the one of the most important part is, those what I call signal fractals, like that is the color of the change that it has, the candles and the midpoint line. Every time we have these fractals over here, the color of the change from green to red and the changes of that one there. So those, actually, we will see a little bit about that. Those actually are quite interesting. That and of course, if we look in the midline as a trailing stop as well, could be quite significant there. So we'll talk later anyway there. So that one is still there. Huge volatility beginning the second week of January, and without that, then we have that euro yen. Same, so everything looks to me quite reasonable. And the euro yen, there it is. Look now, this, if we were to look for here, we would not have a tray, but this one, there we are. So everything going crazy at the moment. So we'll see how that perform from here. We're still into that tray. So, but that's an incredible comeback after such a big drop. Non-farm payroll is coming soon. Williams, yeah, that's the one. But what was his name? Bill Williams, isn't it? And and there it is. So it's quite. So we'll see what happens. That's all we can say at the moment with this one over here. Okay. Um, Boom. We got the pound yen. So beautiful setup over here, and ABC and the weekly. Everything it looks quite interesting in the pound yen. It got the pullback, so that's why sometimes I say this is sometimes I like the breakout, just because when you're looking in in here, and you start looking, okay, this is the fractal, but here is my entry. It has its benefits of whatever. This is the fractal, and this is my entry. This is the fractal, and this is my entry over there. This is the fractal, and that is my entry over here. So it has really, between witness and losses. Yeah, you know, this is a very cool way. So for example, in all of these, if this is my fractal signal, this should be my entry over there, and and nothing did happen. If this is my signal as the market went up, this is my entry, and I think it's the outsider. Never mind, that's what it is. The market's playing a bit naughty today, this week. But yeah, I don't know. Could be that the non-farm payroll is coming soon. So we'll see with this one how the so that's my range leg. That could be the 16A, and we'll see. That's all. Um, and then we have the US yen. I think it was after that. Yep, US yen already breaking big time. So don't need that anymore. And the US yen is here. There is. They got that one there. Lucky that they got that one because here would be a huge there, but here it is. So 27 pips is gone. And yeah. So when I do the midpoint retracement, I normally, put in this one as my trailing stop. When I do this one, I put the midpoint as my trailing stop. And that's all. All right. So that's all we have for today. Really, it's, market is not playing nice this week, but that's happened. So we got a strong weekly yen with a weak daily. So that sometimes could be a good sign to have that. That actually is quite nice when you see a retracement against the weekly. Normally, I see that as an opportunity as well when that happens. Um, where the EA can be activated over there. So New Zealand is strong, is against the weekly strain. Australian is strong, is against the weekly strain. Euro is weak, and this is weak. So the three top ones actually they are completely opposite to the strengths of this one. Which sometimes the only thing can mean that they are there. Uh, they are there. Okay, so let's look what I said about the fractals. Fractals, where are you there? Now, one of the I think everyone has this tool about the fractals direction that we have over here. One of the good things that of this one is just completely, sort of kind of warn you when the fractal has changed. And if we're looking, this is the daily over here. If we're looking the daily over there, you know, that along over there is telling us here that the previous fractal has been breaking and things are setting up to go in short. And this is the midpoint of the Don chain. I just took the colors from there. So if I put it back, blue, red, it's very intriguing that the the midpoint line, when it changed and how it changed, and there it is. So that's a day down index mid in place. We trade in one of the three strategies, the weekly, ready to there, and there it is. Trade the midpoint changes through the thing. The color candles changes. So this is in the place, and that's the run over here. If we're looking, for example, the as well, we're looking the same thing, that this one already has changed, moving over there, and that is the little move we have. We're looking for consolidation and breakouts, and this is another one that can be displayed. That right in that day, possible that here we did not see. It was a sort of consolidation, so it was not much. For here, if I want to be long, according to that, the beauty of the Donchen, it never would have triggered a trade through all these long signals, long stay. So this is the number 30, by the way. It can really helps to look that way. That even if we decided to try, that is no turning point over there. So right over here, we don't have maybe yet, but definitely a few days later, we're looking at this. This one is such a good visual weight, if you now compare and matching up and say, okay, I want to try it in short, but I want to make sure, first of all, the color has changed, the candle over there, and we are in the support has become resistant. We have the Donchen changing, and we have this one over there. And then if we look at the technical basis, everything is in place for the big move that is representing over there. So that's, so if we taken the first candle fractal signal candle, so as we're looking over there, everything is still into that red. But if we look in a few days, light there, you see by that point we have not only one thing, the candle has changed the color, the resistance has become support, and as far as this one can go, there it is. We got that one there, but still in the green, so we're looking for more days. And here, you see, we got the color has changed on the candles, but the midpoint retracement hasn't. So that's something good, that sometimes it works until that day. The midpoint is still into there. And here we have a change. So when the change of the midpoint is on a resistant level, then I can say, yeah, I got the change, I got the colors, and I got the fractals directions in my direction. But by that time, you will not be thinking to try. So reversals bars like these ones, sometimes quite cool. I'm looking, for this reversals bar. So here is telling me the as you see looking over there, if we look in the fractal signal, this is a very good way of looking the fractal signal, because this is the first fractal up. If you're looking over there, so the first fractal up is displaying as well over here, which is the daily over there. There is none there, so we would need to be looking what the index meter. Now, if we know the EA, the EA has that it looks the midpoint. So the EA will trade, and the moment it will looking to trade long over there, um, the EA will look in the midline. It will look at the color of the candles, and then the fractals will be right there into decision to try, and that is that. Now, let's look another way. I was doing this one. Let's put anything else. Now, so this is the weekly over there. I want to be looking here every time the price is closing below to the midpoint. there. So the price, every time this number 30 Donchian line, the candle has closed below to that line over there. So I only don't have that color has changed there, but the midpoint has changed and we have the fractal over there. And right in that day, if I look in the third of, would be approximately the third of um, the index meter, probably I would have a direction that the market is moving. Actually, it's rejecting from the monthly part. This thing, look at that. That's Australian yen. Um, so yeah, so that's what it is. So following the dungeon, and I'm looking for a strong break, and there is my break in the dungeon. That's happened American time. Everything here was telling me to go long. Here is already running quite there, so I would not be looking to that. So I'm looking for something like this one. The market visited about that levels over there. If we look in there, or even the 12 hours, which is quite important. So, and right over here at that point, so right over there in this point, what we have here is so one of the trade is out here at the moment. I hope so he's not coming to my house inside. What do we have here is that the color has, this is a beautiful daily bar. The color has changed and everything has moved on over there. Okay, excuse me for a moment. All right, I need to press resume, and there it is. I was not expecting these guys turn up at this time of the day, but anyway. My glasses. There we are. So where we were. So yeah, so the fractal's direction is really a good indicator to indicate that this is the change of the direction of that the like a Bill Williams says about changing there. So for example, here is another one that I look and I look there. Nice break, and this is the beauty that trading the top ones, sometimes it's more safe than the bottom ones. Then if I look there, that's actually quite interesting tool, especially when the candle close the line, so or maybe somewhere over there. And there we are, on a nice run. There actually we can save those entries when they happen. So here you see it doesn't close here, they close. But so so this is the Bill Williams idea about the first fractal app. Now, when we're looking at the daily, it's a bit because that's what he used the daily fractals. So what he's mainly looking the first fractal down, and from here, the only thing he looks is to trade the breakout of that. So once the fractal is forming of whether it's a bullish or bearish fractal. Um, and if I look, that would be the fractal formation over there. That's the run, and actually they are quite significant runs over there. So we look in here another bullish fractal as the market bullish fractal there. But here is the interesting part that we don't have, through the whole here. Maybe we have a change, but nothing happened. The only thing with the good thing of this tool as well here is that this one doesn't recognize the first fractal up or the first fractal down. This one only recognizes when the support or resistance fractal has been broke below or above those fractals over there. So for example, would be the signal right over there, right there, and that day is telling us that the consolidation has finished. And look, is quite nice actually runs that the market presents from there, and look much with the weekly candle close quite nicely and there. So if we look in, for example, that fractal over here and the market breaks above, that's where the first day signal actually happen. And yeah, so that's with the weekly candle close as well. But that's how the signals fractals actually works. The bigger the time frame, sometimes it's the better. If we start looking, there's from that moment on, so we see that is there. That's the day fractal down, and that's the big moves that is happen. So I like the 4 hours in here, and that's what I always keep the rejection points, which is something similar to that. And every time in here, we can see that and see this. Here is a quite nice signal to tell us that the market there. If here we have a bearish signal, because of that, here never would be a trade. So that's why I like the 30, because it really saves us from anything. The possible will, where we are here, there we are. Possible will avoid all these things. Now looking for the index meter, and looking that there, especially with the weekly, we always can see that the chances of that, and it's quite remarkable from there, so very very easy in the top of the weekly over there. And that's how these fractals really activate, and that's the nice sort of run over here. Let's have a look at another currency that has moved a lot. For example, the euro pound. I'm looking at something that we don't see every day, so my eyes will be a bit clear today. So here we have the fractals, and this is the 4 hours, and the reason this one I changed the fractals over there, because this is the last fractal on here. So that fractal over there is being violated, broken, and that's how I say. So here is the entry when they actually fractal cross below to the line, and that's the bar. So we're looking for because of the daily daily moves. So that's the daily moves, and that's where we have the day that it breaks the Donchian, and nothing would happen from those moments on. Now here it seems like it's been quite active, this currency, and I just want to find the spots that, especially here, is looking on the dailies bar. So if that's a daily, we got a change it of direction. We got the fractal violation, but another entry over there, as you're looking over here. But if we look in the next day down, we got now, maybe here it hasn't changed because the fractal is still holding there. It hasn't closed over there. But here we have now the changing of the direction. This one never gave us actually a bullish signal, but here it was telling us that that was a quite good scenario. So here the bars are not very healthy, and this one is too much. So I'm looking there, and this one was still holding the price. We're looking the buy over there. This one is still into resistance. This is actually possible going ahead, but this one hasn't changed until few days later. We're looking that this is definitely what's going in a short scenario from all of this. We're looking the run from there, and there it is. So the day that when actually the shifting is changing is quite good, because in that date everything changed. The main thing is the midpoint. The midpoint has become a quite interesting indicator. it has, the entry could be anything, but the midpoint, it really, I have put a lot of attention um, into of what I'm looking, because every time, let's see there, when not only the color has changed, but the midpoint has changed, from there, as you see, it holds very quite nice over there. So if we're looking at that fractal over there, which is indicating that date over here, is when everything is decided, the direction that to follow over there. And here we consider a retracement because the market never did change from that point on over here. So every time the market changed the support became resistance, resistance became support, is quite interesting where these things place. And here we can use any kind of EA that we can try, but the main thing is this level. This line, it really become a very sort of kind of magic line of of how, when to know the market has his turning point. This is there, and when we look in the power of the EA to do this kind of trades, you really have a quite there. So we're looking in that day, that the end of the day over there. So depending of the index meter, so we're looking at here that resistance has become support. Now the color strength has changed it from bearish to bullish, um, and that's it. And at the beginning, right of this date over there, you can very say, okay, I put the EA. The EA looks for these things, looks for that the color change, look for the color candles, and from there takes the trade. So if we're looking again there, so one of the first thing you see, until this time the support has not changed, so that could be only retracement. But as the market progressed to there, it never really did change, but now it's really the midline change. So from here, for me, is actually from that moment, is say, okay, now we have to think at the possibilities of trading short. And whether how far it's gonna go, we never know. But that's on the daily. So here's another daily. It changed from the negative to the positive. This one never changed its color, but from there it took off, and so on from there. Now, if we look in the run of this one, which is I did from there, the first day we don't have yet. This was still into the resistance level, so which is fine. But 2 days later, we're looking now. The resistance has become support, and from that moment on, now, don't you think? Okay, Lawrence, no worries. Don't you think that the don't you think that the index meter will play a very important role in this. If we find the index meter right in those moments and we look where we look here, don't you think that will be, a quite interesting way of, looking for that. Whether we choose in there or there, I don't know how far this could go, but every time you're looking over here, looking over there, that's the outcome, and that's on the weekly scenario over there. So it's quite interesting, as I say, that midline, please put it a lot of attentions, before we trigger, looking, from this one, and as I say before, if we're looking, let's see something a bit far, not December, the beginning of December could be quite good, 10th of December. So what I'm looking at here between the US and the yen, a shifting of strength. So it seems like the US here is continue. I want to see the first day the US change it. So here we have on the 2nd of December, the US was positive, but now in the 3rd of December, the US is negative. All right, so so that sometimes is good to have, we have kept the records of this one because here is when you can really, and this is, comes every single day. So here we have a change in of that. Now we want to see over here on the 3rd of December, what is telling us over there. So the 3rd of this December would be there, and we're looking for the dollar, and look at there. So we have the change. The support has become resistant, and then if we want to add it up to anything over there, we can say we are in the shopping levels. Do you know now what I mean about, just to let the index meter find the right day when everything is, line up, and from there, you know could be quite interesting, and this is sort of medium term trading. This is nothing to do with the weekly candle close strategy or the weekly candle close trend line strategy. This is just looking sort of kind of a scalping technique using the daily strength, and like that, and that's everything from there. Now, if we have the US changing over the year, so that's mean that I'm gonna be looking the New Zealand, which is the stronger versus the weaker. So the New Zealand US, I will be looking in that day, and that it is the day, and from that moment, you can manage to move every time the market dips over here, one, twice, three times, and then out of those trades from those moments over there. So you see here what is telling us which way we should be looking to try it over there. So and the only thing we need to know that we need to have the strength of the index meter, so we can go in the direction that we're looking. Remember, we say the U.S. and the yen pairs is more than enough that to trade anything, and the moment you're dipping more, sometimes could be there. The other one would be the Swiss, U.S. Swiss. It says over there, and that's how you hunt in those trades. Huh? So the most important is this change. That's what I keep saying, is the moment we have these turning points is the most important part of what we're looking to trade over there. So that's there we are. So we got that, and from that moment, you see that the midline has not changed whatsoever at the moment until there. It's still holding the strength. The weekly maybe looks like wants to bounce up, so with the 30 and here, could be quite nice and easy. It looks like another car turned up into my house. Can't see the blue one. Can you see the blue one here? I better change another clear color. Maybe that's the top one. Why doesn't go? Oh, that's the upper line. Oh yeah, yeah. Now I know why, because it changes that. There it is. Yeah, now somebody's turned up now here. I better don't talk, so I don't have to answer. Yeah, but looking at the number 30 can hold, you know, quite nice from that point, and there we are. So the other one would be Australian US. So we're looking there. We're looking over here, and there we are. So got a trade, maybe here, got a stop out, back again, stop out, back again, and then a stop out over there. So if we're using the midline on the EA, so the EA will get you here, get out over there, get you back again, get out of somewhere over here, back again over there, and get out over there. But you holding the position that the index made is selling. This is just retracements at the moment. and every retracement, then you just leave it to go over there. So the lowest we go there, the less probability, because the strength is really on the top one, so it's just very strong to the weakest. So the other one will be Euro US and the yen, and that's what it is. So the strength is no on a quite very strong. So with enters over here, stop us over there, enters over there, stop us over here, enters over here, and stop us over there. So this the run was not really there. And the last one would be the yen. And in this case, there we are. We have changed the color. The EA changed that later over there, and it went up. But as you see, it's because last it's undecided over there. So that's why that we're looking at that. So that's about observing on the EA that these these moves 25th November. So I just picking any date, especially from Monday onwards. I'm looking, for example, the yen. The yen, for example, from Monday to Tuesday, we have a change it. Then strong, strong, sort of strong, strong over there. So let's look in the 19th of November, what the yen did. So that's the 19th of November. So we're looking at there and we're looking over here. So it looks to me that it has some value. Maybe not yet here, but right over there. So then if the yen has a change over there, I will look in the weakest now there. New Zealand yen would be the one that I will be looking from there. And so if the yen is strong, so I'm looking to go short. And here we didn't have any hope to go short. So that's how we filtered the wrong signals. New Zealand, Australian yen, looking to go short. And at that time, it was a nice pullback over there. But again, with the number 30, you will not be triggered. And here, anyway. And there it is. So if we're looking to go short from that one there, here is protecting you not to be into the short position here. Swiss yen, which we don't look in this one anymore. So that's a beautiful resistance right over there, wrong or right. The market moves 70 pips. By that time, you are in a break even anyway. But yeah, so that's how I'm picking the moment that it changed from one day to another, especially if we concentrate in the US or the yen groups only, and it really can make a big difference from there. There. If we look in the yen, how the yen was going from there to there, going strong, Monday to strong. But if we look in the following week, so this is the last day the yen being strong. Then in the 26th of November, the yen changed his strength from being, weak, was strong to weak. And from there, as we look in the yen, and it was only 2 days, 3 days maybe. So if I look at the 26th of November, that is the 26th of November, and I'm looking at pound yen would be the first pick over there. And there we are. So nice support over there. Over here, that's the entry, and it went 700 pips from one single move to capture from there. The next one is Swiss yen. And well, you see here there is no technical reasons why you should be entered, but if we connect the EA, because the EA will respond to this strength over there, the EA is waiting for what? Is waiting for the price be above the midline, is waiting for the changing of the color, and is waiting for that for the midline there, and it will be later here would be break even, enter over there, and that's the nice moves that the market did have. The yen is really a very volatile currency, doesn't go very easily one way, smoothie. It just, moves like a crazy over there. New Zealand, and there it is. So here is definitely a breakout from there. So it gave us the hope, and this one is clean as the water over there. And that is the last run of this from November to December over here. And the number 30 here is really a very good time when, that's where we decide to go short. Now things going up. We'll see what next week, but this for me looks more an a retracement from this breakout. So there's the golden candle. Look over there, and that it is. All right, so it's very simple. When you trade in the index mirror and look in the technical, you can't look the technical and look the index mirror. You have to look the index mirror and then look the technical side. The index mirror normally becomes that becomes how called the fundamental side of forex because it's price action in a group. And these tools are very quite calculated, especially people asking how do you get a number. Well, technology get these numbers for me. And if I look, here I have the currency strength meter when I'm looking for all these ones over there. And yeah, so that's how cool, go over here. So once we finish the weak versus the strong, sometimes I keep looking these ones as well. Now the yen in the US is weak, but the US is less weak than the yen. So that means still we'll be looking to go, in this case to go long, the US yen. So if we look at over there, US yen right over here, as you see, even that's the technique. That's how technical works. Without this, there will no work over there. And if we have a 50 pips, take profit, partial take profit, and the rest the midline, how can you get wrong from those ones over there? If we look the euro, the same thing. The euro is less weak than the yen, so I'm looking to the euro yen, and it's all about what I see in my chat. And here I can say this is a pullback. Beautiful there. That's the date over there. So pass the test, and from there, yeah, this one euro yen was not that healthy to try it anyway. But still, if this is my entry somewhere there, that's my exit, and that's it. So not big deal. Now when we look in the next entry over there on the 11th of December, so right over here, and if I look here as well on the 11th of December, whether do we have any change? There we are. So the yen, if we look at the yen, went from positive to negative. So this is really an open eye. Just if you look in this kind of change, and you come over here, and from here the EA will wait for the color change midpoint, and that's a nice 170 pips, and the euro yen we would have 100 pips, like 50% off, and the rest over here, and that's it. And if we look in from there, the Swiss yen is another one that it says that it could be good, and definitely it was good from there. Nice move, nice run here. Pound yen, Canadian yen, and US yen. So pound yen, that's a massive move from there, 450 pips, and sometimes we have 300 pips target, and that is very easy for there. And we look in the Canadian yen. Now this one was a bit deeper, as you see that when it's going like that crazy, this one doesn't work. And this is when sometimes you see if you want to still, this is a good day, but this one is there. You can optional go to the 1 hour, and that's the 1 hour will get you, right at the beginning of the day. But if not, you just miss it that trade. But still from here to there, still profit. So would not be worried much about that in US yen. So that's the beauty here. The EA, once it breaks over there, we looked at midpoint and we looked at the candle colors and everything, and still, still in a 30 pips game from that point onwards. All right, my friends. So I hope so you liked that the lesson of today. We're still waiting for that the EA to come, and yet so with the new EA, we'll look these techniques, and this is now we've been looking the long term, medium term, and this is the short term trade side that it can be using the power of that daily, weekly, and monthly strength over there, and that's what I hear. We got all of those ones over here. All right, my friends. So I hope so you like today. Remember, tomorrow is no fun parole. Do not experiment nothing until 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 Monday or Tuesday, because things can go nuts from there. All right. Take care of yourself, and have a beautiful day. And we'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. And yeah, so for everyone, Debrick, good to see you today, and Greg as well, and Helen and Rita and me. All right, you will receive the recording later on. Cheers and bye.